Stephen Miller, an architect of the hardline immigration policies Donald Trump enacted during his first term, appears to be heading back to the White House as the White House Deputy Chief of Staff for Policy. In fact, the US President-elect has also appointed Tom Homan, who is one of the main officials behind Trump's family separation policy, as his border czar. By the way, he told Fox News, if sanctuary cities don't want to help us, then get the hell out of the way because we're coming. Trump has also picked Elise Stefanik, a critic of the United Nations and a hawkish supporter of Israel, as his ambassador to the United Nations. And Mike Waltz has now been picked, who's a Florida congressman and co-chair of the India caucus, as Trump's new national security advisor. To make sense of the latest appointments, we have with us journalist Ray Locker. Thanks so much, Ray, for making time for us. Do these appointments clearly signal that the next US administration under Trump's guidance will take a rather tough stance on immigration?
Oh, obviously. I mean, Tom Homan has been talking about this for years, ever since he left the administration in 2021. He was a tough hardliner when he was head of ICE during the first Trump administration. And Stephen Miller has been notorious for backing hardline anti-immigration stands.
Do these appointments also signal that the next US administration will staunchly and publicly oppose any efforts by multilateral bodies to restrain Israel, meanwhile, or risk US funding and support altogether? What are you picking up on?
Well, I think Trump has signaled that he's going to let Israel do whatever it wants. I don't know where Mike Waltz would come in on that, or Elise Stefanik, but I know that she's a hardline Israel supporter, been active in fighting what she perceives as anti-Semitism on college campuses. And she's also a pretty smart person, very well educated, and has evolved from being a moderate during the first Trump administration to a very tough pro-Trump supporter. Mike Waltz is a former Green Beret, worked for Dick Cheney when he was vice president, and so he knows, this very well as well.
Right. In all those, so far, as many argue, Ray, Trump's cabinet picks echo his plans on immigration and Israel primarily. Do you agree, or is there more than that meets the eye?
No, I think immigration is the biggest thing that he's been talking about, and picking Homan and Stephen Miller is a sign of what he intends to do. I think some people didn't take it seriously. I think we're going to see now that Latino men who voted for him are going to find out that members of their friends and family circles are going to be deported. And that's going to rip that community apart. We don't know how much this is going to cost. We don't really know what they're planning on doing. But if some of the apocalyptic predictions come true, you're going to see people all across the country being ripped from their homes and businesses and sent, wherever they came from. And that's going to have a tremendous dislocating effect on the economy, could drive inflation because it could create a labor shortage. So there are all sorts of untold effects from this policy if it unfolds the way that some of these people are talking about.
That is rather worrying, as many have highlighted. In fact, that's a fear that many echo as well within the United States come January. But thank you so much, Ray, for joining us with the latest updates from the US.